Hari Om and good morning, Mzansi. A very warm welcome to Sadhana on S3, your finest Hindu magazine show, with me, your host, Alisha Gayapasad. On the canvas of Sadhana today, we inspire with a difference, highlighting the story of author, poet, actor and academic Shane Manilal. Blending in the flavors of spices, Radhika Gounden shares with us her recipe of a delicious mushroom korma, while Dr. Ansuyah Moodley presents the finer detail in managing the breath. And to stroke the finishing touches of this episode, we exhibit a modern painting of Goddess Durga by artist Vishal Mothilal. In Hinduism, suffering is seen as part of our spiritual journey towards finally reaching moksha. But while the body may be in pain, the true self is not affected or harmed. Indeed, some even embrace suffering as a way to progress on this spiritual path, to be tested and to learn from a difficult experience. Shane Manilal's experience of suffering may have left a disabled body, but his enthusiasm and optimism is true testimony of his journey towards all-embracing transformation. Follow me as we dive deeper into the world of Shane Manilal, who after a life-changing bike accident, authored his experience in his book, Crash Landing.
Hola, what do you see? A biker, Angiti. More importantly, a black biker, because you can hear me. But what if I decide to throw in some chili? Yeah, no, man. Nou jy mos confused, already confused. Ja, hierdie land is nog steeds baie bruised. But everywhere's the same so. Just hear me and place me into my race. But no, man, me got no face. So, hear only my voice, you got no choice, because after I'm done, I will prove that we are one.
Seeing humanity as one species, Shane Manilal is a survivor of a life-changing accident in which he flatlined but was revived miraculously, and ever since he is still brimming with enthusiasm.
Welcome into my world. It's not just a fantasy world in a sense, because I have been to university. I've got 3 university degrees. I've got 5 diplomas as well from other places. That's my altar in a sense, with my dad. And yeah, well, he's my God, and I'm most of the time on the sofa there, but he basically accompanies me, and although he's not here physically, that's what we need to learn. The person passes in terms of their physical, but if you still talk about them, that means they still exist.
That's what Hinduism teaches.
Exactly. Hinduism teaches us that there's the spiritual power as well. Well, that's my simple philosophy in life. I haven't got that from India. The birds from India, and then live, love, love. Simple 3 words. Live, love, love. My God is my dad, and that's my grandparents, my Aja and Aji that made my father. So that's my direct link to them there. And then this is my mum. I made these frames, and although I'm a bit thing, but I'm quite sensitive. And this is my Nana, who's my mum's dad. But above it, there's like a slight little angel power there. And I've got a special connection with my Nana because he was also like me, a totalitarian. He never really attend specific things, but he saw the world as one, you know.
Shane embraces the faith of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, seeing the world as one family, and supports the notion of oneness.
This is the most important document in my thing, because after I had the accident, I was fully paralyzed and I couldn't even walk, and I was in bed here. And I read this, and it's from a pupil of mine. And she said that I actually inspired her to become someone or something, you know. And that's when I decided to rip off that diaper and force myself onto the floor to walk again. And my legs, well, it took about a couple of months, but I was classified to never ever walk again. And it's the power of the mind, you know.
That's true.
And that came as a spiritual thing as well, because I went for my graduation at but I'm currently spiritually married. My wife, she made me that little thing there with one bead at a time.
The diamond.
Yeah, that thing, that frame there. And even this, her mom made this for me, because I'm like a different thinker where I actually praise nature first. Nature is primarily the essence of what we need, in a sense, because there's 3 essentials to life: air, food and water. Come from where? Dharti Mata, Mother Nature.
the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that the mind is superior to all the senses. Shane Manilal expresses this as he wrote the book Crash Landing, when his mind ventured on its own tangent with just one finger of his now main left hand.
I feel as if I do have this inside me, that I'm being saved to save as many as I can reach. In my spiritual journey, let me just take you to show you I still have it's lucky brought up now, but I have a holy altar of my own. Yeah, you see. Okay, this is my parents set up this, and my mom actually gave me freedom to follow my own thing, you see. So I have my own little holy lamp here, because I believe that my holy phrase is love and light. I actually started this in 2009, but lots of people are making it now love and light. Here's the tattoo of it. Because in terms of evolution and in terms of development, when we could control fire, that's when we started to soften our food. Cooked food is softer. My spiritual connection is this. I light my lamp, and I also have, you know what's a Rudraksh bead?
Yes.
The Rudraksh bead from the things. I had this whole spiritual connection with Rudraksh beads. There's actually a tray here, but my brother used to get trance for the goat prayers and stuff, and then one of his necklaces broke out. So while I was writing the book, something pulled me to this bead, and when I got to look at it, I saw it's the shape of the earth. Yeah. And it's got 5 lines, which is the 5 major religions according to me. And all I do is I just light my lamp after I feed the birds, and I hold this here, and I pray to the Creator.
Shane embraces the faith of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, seeing the world as one family, and supports the notion of oneness.
You see, the thing is this, I believe in your mind doesn't rest. And my brother actually took me, after the accident, and he took me on his bike, and we taped up my hand to his bike throttle. And after that, I got the idea of a Velcro throttle. So the hand itself is paralyzed. That means I can't grip the throttle. The accelerator of the bike is the throttle. So the Velcro idea came to me. So I have Velcro glove, and I've also the brake levers on this side. Normally, I've moved it to the left-hand side for you. And that's a symbolism of biker passion for me never die. And I've also had about another 14 more accidents, but I get back on because I have the simple principle. And I even read about it in The Secret. You wake up every morning, you say, today will be a good day. And you just smile because you don't even know if you're going to see tomorrow. Now with this COVID-19 thing, we're hearing of this one passed away, that one passed away. Live your life to the full. Experience what you love doing. It's your life. I always say your life is your call. You do whatever makes you happy. Follow your own heart and your own instincts.
Welcome back. Vegan cooking is remarkably easy to learn and delivers all sorts of unexpected payoffs. You'll invariably eat fresher, tastier meals that raise your consciousness of the divine. Grab your recipe book because Radhika Gounden prepares for us a mouth-watering vegan mushroom korma. Relish and enjoy.
Vanakkam, Sairam and Jai Gurudev. Welcome to Conscious Cooking on Sadhana. Today we are preparing a vegan mushroom korma. Our star of the show, the humble mushroom, shredded coconut, chopped tomatoes, coriander powder, garam masala, some cumin seeds, turmeric, chili powder, chilies of choice, a sprig of curry leaf, star anise, some clove, cinnamon, bay leaves, cashew nuts, coriander for garnish. And not forgetting our coconut milk as well as oil. So we start our mushroom korma, as with most dishes, adding oil to the pan. Lightly toast your star anise together with your cloves, your cinnamon, your curry leaf. You need our ever faithful spatula. You can add your bay leaf as well. You're now going to add your turmeric, and that's the lovely color we're going to get. Your cumin, toast, give it a nice mix. Oh, I just love that smell. Garam masala. As you can imagine, it's a really fragrant korma. So my chopped tomato, so I'm just going to add that. If you like spicy food like me, then you can add however much chilies as you want. I'm a real chili lover, so you can imagine I really pile on a lot more than usually required. I'm going to let that cook a little bit. So I'm just going to give this a stir and add our mushrooms. Add our mushrooms. You can add your coriander powder now, so everything sits quite nicely. And your chili powder. Give it a good stir. Let that simmer for a little while. The quickest way to get your vegan gravy going as a milk substitute is get yourself a blender, put in your coconut milk. I've shredded some fresh coconut. You can use the dried one. So you blend everything together and you'll see that you got a nice creamy paste. Vegan heaven. This is the basis for our vegan mushroom korma. Ah, lovely. That coconut, that cream. Oh, lovely. My garnish. Every cook's favorite garnish, dhania. As you can see, our humble mushroom has been transformed into a creamy, delectable mushroom korma, full of flavor and so visually appealing.
Thank you for staying tuned to Sadhana on S3. Yes, from that excitement of tasty cuisine, we now tranquilize your mind and body with yoga for wellness. From healthy eating to healthy living, Dr. Ansuyah Moodley shows us how to manage the prana, the life force or breath.
Yoga is essentially creating harmony between body, mind, and the soul. Part of yoga is also to look at how we manage the breath. The breath is sometimes referred to as prana or the life force. And in the science of the control of the breath, which we refer to as pranayama, today we will do one of the breathing techniques called sasankasana. In the body, the energy flows in specific pathways, in fact in 72,000 nadis or energy channels. And in sasankasana, it allows for the energy channels to also force the energy into the region of the head. So let's get started. Very gently, from Sukhasana position, let's go into another meditative posture, which is Vajrasana. So facing forward, Vajrasana is the position where you go on your heels and you sit on your heels at the back, palms on your lap facing upward, toe meeting toe. Very gently make a gentle fist with the right hand, and with the left hand, hold around the wrist on your back. Allow for both the palms to be in line with the region of the waist behind your back. Very gently tilt the body slightly backward, and spread the knees for comfort. Toe touching toe. Very gently take a deep inhalation, and as you breathe in, tilt the body slightly backward, and as you exhale, extend all the way forward, taking forehead to mat. Try not to raise the back of the body, keep it as low as possible, taking forehead to the ground. Again, very gently come up as you breathe in. Tilting the body again slightly backward. And as you exhale, a beautiful stretch from the waist upwards. Feel that expansion of the chest, increasing the lung capacity, taking the forehead all the way forward to the ground. Again, very gently, all the way up again. We're going to do it one more time. Take a deep breath. Beautiful stretch from the waist all of the way up. Tilt the body slightly backward and then take it forward as you exhale. And this time, as the forehead touches the ground, keep the back as low as possible. Release the hands from behind the back. Take it all the way in front of you. Thumb touching thumb. Make the diamond between the thumbs and the forefingers. Bend the elbows a little so you have a diamond shape as well with the palms and the elbow and the arms. Feel a beautiful stretch all the way along the biceps and the triceps, strengthening the arm muscles, strengthening of the core. Continue to breathe gently through the nostrils. Keep the back as low as possible. And very gently walk the fingers towards the knees. Bring the head back up and go back into Vajrasana.
You can exhale now as we have come to the final part of the show. Sadhana met with New Age artist by choice and a skilled architect by profession, Vishal Mothilal, to capture the X factor of his latest work, a Durga with a difference. The painting depicts the gross and subtle and the light and the darkness through a rather dainty depiction of the feminine divine. Let's take a look.
Even like sometimes I struggle with emotions as well. Because I have emotions to do it, and sometimes I'm just leaving it. Before the painting had actually started, one has to be inspired. So for this particular piece of Goddess Durga, the Durga Shatashati or the Chandi had played a huge part in actually inspiring this piece. That work itself gives a good basis onto what the scene was actually like or the ambience of this particular painting. So keeping all of that in mind, that had definitely inspired me, using that as a basis also at the same time. So the painting of Durga itself is a bit different than the usual forms we will normally see. But as an artist, this is what I wanted to portray. We normally see the goddess as a very strong, fierce deity, showing some sort of anger or very harsh expressions on her face. But for this particular painting, I wanted to create her with a very soft, serene, and beautiful look, which is very opposing to what we normally see. So in terms of the color usage of this painting, I had to try and bring this out to the best of my ability, and also at the same time, contrasting the background with her opposing nature. In this painting, we see her as a glowing figure, and this itself is quite significant to say that during the harsh and the dark times that we still have to shine bright through and still bring on a sense of brightness during those times. The background itself is a very harsh background by the color usage of it. We see a lot of lightning being present as well. We see a war taking place, and as I've mentioned, in the Chandi itself, we see, we are given the story that there was a war in which thousands of elephants and horses and asuras were a part of, or even more. So this itself narrates the story and the backdrop of this harshness. processes will start with an inspiration, most importantly. I think this is the most important part. Without that, I think it will be a struggle to go through the entire piece. So that is the foremost. The second part of it will be character development. This will start from sketch processes, trying to figure out the feel of the deity, the energy of the deity, trying to understand that most importantly, and then trying to shape the deity out through sketches. This could possibly be about 2 sketches or so, but I think through the grace of God, I've only just done 1 sketch and it seems to work, and I've taken it straight to the canvas. The next process would be gridding it up onto the canvas and taking the sketch and grading it onto the canvas itself. Once that sketch is done, we would fine-tune the actual figure itself just to get the proportions right of the deity. Once we are 100% on that, because there is no turning back once painting starts, so we have to be 100%. Once that is done and we've perfected the figure of the deity, then we start with the color usage. The color usage I would always like to start is with the face of the deity, which I feel is the most important part. And I think once the face is perfected to a point, which I'm really happy on, and getting the facial structure correct, that's when I'll start with the rest of the body of the painting. Once that is done and I'm entirely 100% and happy onto it, then I'd start with the background and getting that process involved, but at the same time trying to keep the contrast of not drowning the deity at the same time. So that is the process of it.
That's divinity flowing through the strokes of genius. It was Rabindranath Tagore who said, "Let me not beg for the stilling of my pain, but for the heart to conquer it." We hope that you enjoyed this bumper-packed show today. From the Sadhana team, keep shining your beautiful divine light into the world. Om Shanti.